Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Entrefluential Live podcast. My name is John Tanner, and I will be your host. My son Sebastian will be joining us pretty soon, and we're going to change things up for this episode. And the reason why we're coming to you today on Thursday instead of our Tuesday night standard showing scheduling is because I had some things to do. Sebastian had some things to do. My schedule got changed around with my work, and so we decided to postpone today's broadcast for Thursday. So along with the change in the date, and that's just for this week, next week we'll be back on our regular Tuesday production schedule, Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. But for today, since we're changing the date, we're also changing the template because I have some new content that I want to share with you. And so I thought that it would be appropriate for us to bring you this change up in the scheduling of our tips of the day, along with today being an awkward different day, Thursday. So Sebastian is going to bring you the physical and mental tip of the day, but since he's not yet joined us, I'm going to go ahead and move forward with my half. He'll do physical and mental, and I'm going to do the spiritual and the entrepreneurship and influence building tips of the day. Now, for the spiritual tip of the day, it's kind of like a show and tell or like a book reading, remember when you were in school, remember in elementary school, when you would sit down on the carpet along with your classmates and the teacher would read to you? Well, that's basically what I'm going to do for you today. I'm going to be reading from this new book that I got called Living the 66 Books of the Bible by Dr. David Jeremiah. And it's such a beautiful book, and it has great content. So I'm going to start off with the introduction. I'm going to go to the introduction from Dr. Jeremiah, and then I'm going to read, it's a brief summary of each of the 66 books of the Bible. And so today I'm going to read the summary of the book of Genesis. So here's the introduction. Do you know anyone who still uses a sewing machine? Imagine cutting out the pages of the Bible and sewing them together to make a suit for you, or a dress, or a coat for the winter. What if all our clothes were stitched together from paper cut from a Bible? That's what I want to suggest in this book. We need to wear the scripture, to be clothed with the teachings of Christ, and to be clad in the word of life. When people see us, may they see walking Bibles. I've never relished Bible study more than now. It seems the older we become, the more we love God's word. If you were to see me at my desk at home, you'd see an open Bible with study resources and commentaries opened left and right. My notepads are never far from my pen, but there's always a danger that Bible study will fail to translate into biblical living. It's one thing to understand the 66 books of the Bible. It's another thing to live them, to put them into practice, and to be doers of the word. In this book, I've taken the 66 books of the scripture, Genesis to Revelation, and sought to show their implications for daily life. Each segment has an overview of the book at hand and its practical message, along with its stated theme, a suggested challenge, a key verse, and a prayer. And my prayer? That we would both learn and live the word of God for our own joy and for the benefit of those who need so badly to see it. Nothing can touch this world so deeply as a walking Bible. Why not let it be you? So, my friends, I have this idea in mind that by doing this together, we are going to be walking and living in the word. We are going to have the opportunity to do a Bible study together, if you will, over the next 66 weeks while we go over this book, the 66 chapters of the Bible. Hey, Sebastian, welcome.
How's it going?
Good. So
Hello.
I started off by reading the introduction for the 66 books of the Bible.
Oh, great.
And so I'm going to pause and we'll let you take off with the physical and mental tips of the day. And then when we get back to me, then I'm going to read just a brief summary of the book of Genesis. So it's kind of
All right.
like, it'll be like business building tips and a Bible study combined in one.
Great.
Hey, you're not in your car.
No, I know. Today I'm using the office over here, so it's not getting used right now. So I got a nice change
Excellent.
of scenery, get some more space. It's a little like awkward doing it in the car.
No, yeah, but it was cool, definitely, because your car looks nice. But yeah, this is neat. It's a nice change. So
Oh
not
yeah,
only did we change from Tuesday to Thursday for this week, but you've also changed your environment. So we're bringing a lot of change to the show today.
yep. That's right.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pass the microphone on to you, Sebastian. What do you got for us today?
All right. So for the physical tip for today, it's difference of the last couple of physical tips. We're starting to work over towards more workout, fat burning, workouts for men, workouts for women direction. But for today, I'm just going to give a physical tip. I don't know if I've given it before, so it's pretty simple. It's
Uh-huh.
just to make sure that you're taking enough rest days. It's for the people that are going active into the gym, lifting the weights aspect, because you can um, have workouts. Some people do workouts that are just, cardio workouts. Some people don't want to lift weights. They don't really want to put on too much muscle. It's not their goal. So this is specifically, if for both it can be applied, but specifically for people that are going to lift weights in the gym, you
Mm-hmm.
got to make sure that you're taking enough rest days, because when you go too much, you might have a week where you go and you hit a weight that you haven't hit before, and you did it for, you could say, a full 8 reps or 10 to 12 reps, whatever it is your whatever everyone whatever you're doing on a daily basis. You can hit your, like, a new PR. You can hit that weight, and then you can go back the next day or the day after that, and you can try the same weight, and you might not lift it up because your body needs time to rest. So you might
Mm-hmm.
hit a good weight one day during this week, and then you might try it again. Let's say if you want to deadlift, or you're squatting, or you're bench pressing, anything, those compound movements that you really want to work for, like, strengthening it. Because
Mm-hmm.
in general, you're going to do the same weights for a little while. If I'm bicep curling
Mm-hmm.
25 pounds this week, chances are, I'm not going to be doing a 35-pound bicep curl next week. I'm still going to be working on that 20 to 25-pound range, because it takes time to get used to that weight. Then you
Uh-huh.
can, get stronger at that weight. You move up to the next one. So, it's just because the body needs time to rest. So you got to make sure that you're getting enough rest days every week, because your lifts, whenever you're working out, you might not feel as strong on certain days, and you might make you, discouraged, and make you not want to go back, or whatever the case may be. Our egos can get in the way, and you think, oh, they're lifting this weight, so I need to be lifting that weight too, because, a man should bench press 225, or, anything that is common, those egotistical remarks that you make in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are, your body might not be rested enough to lift that weight. So make
Okay.
sure that you're getting rest days.
That's good. But so I think there's kind of like a balance in between, because yes, I do notice that when I push myself every single day, I get to a point where I'm fatigued and I can't. It doesn't feel as easy as it normally does. Like one day I feel great, strong, and I'm
Yeah.
knocking out my push-ups. I'm knocking. By the way, I think you owe us some push-ups, don't you?
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Aha. Okay, so
Yep.
I notice when I'm doing my push-ups, I get weak and I'm like, oh, I can't. I'm not pushing as hard as I can, and it's
Yeah.
because I haven't taken a rest day. But I also notice that if I go 3 days without going to the gym, that fourth day is really hard for me to get back into my routine.
Yes. That's how it is for me too. So some people, you can't take too many rest days back to back,
Yeah.
because then you might feel too tired when you go back to the gym again. So I think it's like finding a good median,
Yes.
a good medium in there. Like you can take one day off and then go back the next day, or take 2 days off in a row. Um, but I think, definitely the, like the tip of taking your rest days, it's like half of that could be said, make sure you're getting your rest, and half of it can be said of overtraining. You don't want to overtrain, and so it's
Yeah.
hand in hand, overtraining with not getting enough rest days in. So I think around 4 days to 5 days a week, of lifting the weights, going in and doing the weights, is pretty good. Some people do 7. That, I would do that.
Hmm.
And I think it's just everybody's different. So some people need less rest than others, and there's like also a general number for how much rest everyone should get. But at the end of the day, everyone's different in some way. So some people might bounce back quicker off of one rest day. You might need 2 rest days. Or like you said, if you have 3 rest days and then on the 4th day you go back, you feel like then the weight's too heavy. Then it's like, okay, then you feel like your muscles aren't even ready to do that. So I think it's good to find a balance.
Yeah, I think that I don't want personally to go more than 1 day off from the gym
Yeah,
because it feels like it's too much. It's too hard for me to get back into my routine again. I have to push
exactly.
myself harder, but I feel like I do need to take a rest day off. I was trying to push myself over the last couple of weeks of not taking any days off. Last week, I
Yeah,
think I exercised 7 days straight, even if it's just going jogging for the morning, right?
yeah.
But even that takes a toll on you. Like I can feel it in my knees. Like I think
Your
I
knees,
feel,
yep.
I feel like my body needs a day of rest. And like today, for instance, I'm off from my work today, so I slept. Like I took,
Yeah.
I came home and I took a nap. Like I went out and I came home and took a nap, and I was like, man, I feel good. It feels so good to
Yep.
rest. So yeah,
Yeah, it's
our
good to
bodies
have
need
a
it.
rest. Yep, exactly. And even like that, you can do 1 day off and then go back the next day. And then, you can do like, let's say you go to the gym on Monday, you can take Tuesday off, go back Wednesday, go back Thursday, take Friday off.
Oh, that's
So
pretty cool. Yeah, yeah.
you
You
know,
could
you
take
can
2 days
you can
off and
spread
split
it
it up.
out throughout your week. So you can
That's
even
good.
change the days or keep them the same. But that's what I like
Mhm.
to do. I like to do like 1 day off and then I go for a couple days straight, and then
Yeah.
I'll take another rest day like
So
on
so
Friday or
so
Saturday.
yeah. So maybe like 2 on, 1 off.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. 2 off, 2 on, 1 off. I like that. I like that because I'd like do 1 day back and shoulders, and then the next day arms and chest, and then take a day off. Right?
Exactly.
And back and shoulders, arms and chest, day off. Back and shoulders, arms and chest, day off.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly. And there's a
Uh,
lot of research out there that just shows you got to get those rest days in because the body
yeah.
can only take so much unless some people are doing steroids and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and
that's ridiculous. Yeah, don't do that,
they're on
guys.
another level.
Stop doing that. Just take some natural stuff.
Seriously. So
Right? Don't
those
kill your
guys might be
kidneys or
different.
your liver or all that other jazz. You're gonna need it later on in life.
Yep. Seriously. But yeah, it's
Right?
good not to
Or
overtrain. It's good
what
to
do
get
people
those
say
rest days.
nowadays? What do they say nowadays? They say facts.
Facts. Yep. They say facts.
You're gonna use
Yep.
your liver. Facts.
Yeah, you want to have a healthy liver and kidneys. Facts.
Right? Facts. All right, Sebastian's gonna do 20 push-ups. Facts.
Yeah. Yep.
What happened to the cooking, Sebastian?
I mean, it's just been busy over here. We're in the process of moving again. So now
Oh yeah.
we're in
Yeah.
Panama City over here, and now we're going over
To
to
Stewart?
Port St. Lucie,
Oh, Port St. Lucie. Okay, that's just like right outside of West Palm Beach, right?
like an hour away. Yeah, about
Oh, okay.
depending on what part. I think it's
Okay.
even a little bit closer. It's right
So
there.
you'll be close enough distance that you might see the FBI coming in where they're gonna go raid Mar-a-Lago the next time.
Maybe that'd be crazy.
Hey Donald, you're getting a visit.
Oh my
Here's
gosh,
you got about an hour.
give them a heads up. I'll take a boat for the tip.
Right, just give me a condo at the Trump Tower, man. It's all good.
Oh my gosh, seriously.
Oh man, sorry, just had to have a little humor there, a little fun. All right, so what do you got for us for the? Are you done with the physical tip of the day? We're good with that one.
Yep. Yeah, we're
What do
good
you
with the
got?
physical tip of the day.
What do you got next?
So the next one I'm going to do is the mindset tip for today. And that is the 9 habits. I'm going to be reading from the 9 habits of ninja selling by Larry Kendall.
Cool.
The first one is to start off your day with gratitude. Every day, wake up, start your day feeling some gratitude that you woke up today. At least you have another opportunity to attack the day and get better. The second one, stay on your agenda. Be productive the first hour of your day. Number 3, write 2 personal notes daily. 4 is focus on your daily hot list and follow up with open house guests. 8 touches in the first 8 weeks. 5 is to send out your weekly direct mail campaign. 6, make your customer checking in calls to your active clients daily. 7, schedule 2 face-to-face meetings weekly with past clients, sphere of influence for coffee, lunch, happy hour, anything that you guys can find in common. You can anything like that. Happy hour, coffee, Starbucks, Dunkin'. There's plenty of options. Panera. You can go get
Right.
a quick bite to eat. Just get in touch with them.
Hmm.
8 is to schedule 10 contacts with a sphere of influence weekly. And 9 is to update your database weekly.
Okay, so on the open house thing, that's specifically for realtors because they're doing open houses, but it could be applicable for any sales business where you can reach out to your customers. What was that habit again where you had mentioned about the open house? What number was that one?
Oh, it was number 4. It was focus on your daily hot list and
Oh,
follow up
okay.
with the open house guest.
Okay,
And
so
then it says
yeah,
your
if you're
8
doing
touches.
that makes sense. Like if you yeah, so if you host open house on the weekend, then you on the following Monday you want to reach out to the people that you met at the open house. So I think that could be applied for any business. Like let's say you go to a networking event. So if you
Yeah.
go to a networking event on a Thursday night, then that following Monday you could follow up with the people that you met at that networking event on Thursday night,
Right.
right? And
Yep.
say, hey, Sebastian, I met you at the blah, blah, blah networking event. It was really nice to meet you. I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
learn more about XYZ business,
Right.
right? So that's cool. So anybody you meet during the week, the following Monday, you should follow up and get back in touch with that person and just say, nice to meet you. I like
Right.
doing it
Yep.
within 24 hours. So like if I go to an event and I get business cards while I'm at the event, the next day, because I feel like I feel weird about contacting somebody a few days later. It was like when I
Yeah.
was dating, like when I was going out to clubs and I was a young person, your age, I would go to clubs, I would meet girls, I would get the phone number, and I'll come home and I throw it down on the counter. And if 2 or 3 days went by, I would throw it in the trash because I was like, dude, I feel weird contacting this person now. It's too late, you know? But if it was like 24 hours later, it was perfect, right? And it really depended
Yeah.
on if I had money or not. Like if I had money, I'd be like, hey, you want to go have lunch? You know, and if I
Yep.
didn't have money, I'd be like, okay, I can't call this person. or maybe reach out like, hey, it was really nice to meet you. You want to go hang out next weekend?
That's hilarious. Whenever you get paid.
Right. Oh, times
Oh
are
my
tough,
gosh.
man. It's tough being broke, man.
Oh my gosh. But it's also, I think it's good in some ways not to wait so many days afterwards with whether it's, you meet somebody that you like or it's for
Mhm.
business because it's not
Yeah.
fresh in their mind at that point. After it's been a few
Ex-
days, they've already gone through so much. They have so
right.
much information coming down their
Especially
coming.
nowadays.
Exactly. So it's been so much
Yeah.
that you're not even on the hot topic and you're not the hot topic
Right.
anymore. Now
Right.
you're just like,
Yeah.
okay,
You're a
let me
blur.
try to remember who you are and where I met you
Yeah.
versus the next day. It's like, okay, yeah, I remember
Yeah.
exactly. I met
Let's
you
rock and
yesterday. We
roll.
met at
How
the
good was it?
dinner.
Yeah. And if it was
Exactly,
good, you're gonna move
exactly.
forward, you know? Yeah.
Yep,
So and then you ingrain it a little bit deeper, right? And then get that contact, get that happy hour, get that freaking coffee meeting,
exactly,
to take the conversation a little bit further one on one as opposed to like, a whole group of people at an event, right?
exactly.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. These are really great tips. I'm glad that you shared these 9 habits of ninja selling because every business has to sell. I don't care if you're in medical, you got to
Yep,
sell your services as a doctor, just like you would if you're selling cars. So
yeah,
everything touches sales. Sales touches everything, and so these are applicable. The 9 habits of
yep,
ninja selling is applicable for every business, and it is true about following up with your database, following up with your contacts, updating the database, getting face to face, because belly to belly, face to face is the best way to make a sell happen because you've got to get people to know you, like you, and trust you. And that is building rapport, right? And you're not
yep,
going to build rapport as good over the phone or on even like this is okay because we're seeing each other. We can get some kind of physical connection. This is as
yeah.
close as you can get to face, but nothing beats face to face breaking bread together at a table.
And you feel the energy too coming from that person. So
Right.
it's a whole different vibe. You're talking over here
Yep.
on the phone. It's like, yeah, I
Yep.
see your vibe. I see how you
Yeah.
are. I can like get excited talking to you. But when I see you in person, it's like then I can feel the excitement. Then I can feel the energy radiate. Like it makes me
Right.
more happy and it makes me more
Right.
excited. So
Yeah.
it's better.
Yeah. Can you feel my hand touching your head? Oh. Can't do that until on the screen.
Oh my gosh.
or,
Nope.
or can you hear me? Think McFly.
Oh my God. Back to the Future. Yeah. Oh man,
No,
those are great movies.
face to face is way better, man. Face to face,
Yeah,
like this is great, but in person is the best
in
for
person.
sure.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
cool,
Oh,
awesome,
you
man.
know
Well,
what?
what?
I was just thinking, another one on that, the 9 habits of the ninja selling. The second one was to stay on your agenda and be productive the first hour of your day. I like that
Yes,
one a lot because I'm someone that needs an agenda. I have ADHD
yeah,
and I get distracted with life in general, with everything that's going on. So there's certain things I need to do sometimes, and I forget about it. Not
yep.
because I want to or because I'm just being lazy. I want to get it done, but sometimes you get
Distractions kick in.
distracted. So it's good to have the agenda because you can write it down, then you hold yourself accountable, and it's easier to remember everything because it's so hard. There's so much going on all the time. It's hard to just remember everything unless you have, you know, stellar memory. Some people can memorize a photographic memory. They can look at something once, remember all of it, whatever. They can remember anything from last week. I'm not one of
Yeah.
those people. I need the agenda. It helps me get all my stuff done and remember what I need to do in the first place.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I not only agree with the agenda, and I think you can start building your agenda the day before, even several days ahead of time, because you can have a
Yes.
calendar, right? But you can have dude, I'm using an agenda right now for tonight's show. Are you kidding me? I've got the stuff that we
Oh
have,
yeah.
as we go along because I need to see where we're
Yep.
moving.
Me
That's
too.
awesome, man. So not only do you follow agenda for today and what you're doing now, but you can set the alarm on your phone to remind you of when you have events, right? Things where you need to
Exactly.
go. Today at 2:30 p.m. I was watching this woman talk about real estate marketing. I had to schedule it on my phone and put a reminder an hour in advance so I could be ahead, like to be prepared
Yeah.
for the event. You
Yep.
know what I mean? So like use your
Exactly.
phone, use your resources, right? Use your phone,
Use the
set
resources.
reminders, set
Yep.
alarms for yourself, and do like stick to a daily agenda because professionals who use an agenda get so much more done. And I was thinking about this. It's funny because
Yeah.
that you paid attention to that particular ninja habit because I was thinking one question that I wish we would have asked Kimberly Crow when we had her on our interview last week
Oh yeah.
was, what does your daily schedule look like?
Yep. That would have been a
Because
great question. Yeah.
to be a seven-figure earner, you must have a very, very busy schedule.
Yeah.
And so like if we get her back on the show, I want to ask her that question.
Yeah. That's a great question. Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
because
Because how do you manage your time? Because everybody does it differently and manage like not even the time, but the tasks, everything that you have to do, whatever.
yeah, how busy
The
are you? How much work are you putting in to get to that level? Because I bet you like she's super, super busy. I want to see. I
exactly.
just want to know. And then thing is like the 80-20 rule, or you're focusing
Yep.
on the 20% that gets you 80% of the yield, or you're spending your time
Right.
doing 80% of the stuff that just only makes you 20% of the money. That's like a lot of
Yeah.
people get caught in that, like the hamster wheel, and they're spinning and spinning and spinning in the hamster wheel, but on the wrong hamster wheel. It's the 80%
Right.
that gives you only 20% profit, right? And so
Right.
you've got to shift and get out of that one and get into the right hamster wheel
Yep.
that you only takes 20% of your effort and gives you 80% of the results for the Pareto principle.
That everybody wants to put 20% effort and get 80% result.
Yeah. But
I'd
I
love to
think
get to that point.
everybody does, right? But like I think the thing
Yep.
is like you've got to do the 80 part first before you can
First.
get to the 20 part. You know what I mean?
Yes,
You
exactly.
got to build your machine and then shift over to an administrator of the machine, not the daily worker, the grinder of the machine.
I think that applies to like, one hit wonders. I think a lot of them people that just like all of a sudden they blow up and they're super famous and popular and whatever, they're super rich and it's
Yeah.
like an overnight success, but in that's what we see
Yeah.
for our first impression, but in reality there could have been
So much work
17
behind it.
years of hard work that went into that one time that they had one opportunity that came to for them to show how hard they worked for it, and then
Yep.
it caused them to be an overnight success.
Yep.
I think there's like that same rule applies to it. We see that and we think it's
Yeah.
quick and it's just we want it right now. But they did that 80% for so many years that we didn't know who they were. They were just like us. They were still regular people. They weren't at that super high social status. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? They were started from the bottom and they they put a lot of time. You don't know how much work that it took for them to get to that level.
Yeah, I visualize the iceberg when you're saying that.
Yeah.
You know, the big chunk of ice is under the water. You don't see that. All you see is the little
Yes,
piece of the iceberg that comes up to the
exactly.
top.
You see the one on
Or,
the top, but you don't know the whole picture.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
So many years ago, I went to interview for a real estate position, sales position with Kai's commercial in Miami. It was on, I
Hmm.
think, on Brickell. And I took this psychological profile test, right? And at the end of it, the manager told me, he says, you are like the, he offered me the job, but I didn't take it because I think I had to pay like $200 a month desk fee. And I was like, I'm not paying to try to
Oh,
make a living, you know,
yeah,
it was, I
exactly.
was like, not going to do it. But anyway, he said that my character, based on my results, was that I'm like a duck. The duck looks like he's smoothly gliding along the surface of the water, but if you look
Yeah.
underneath the water, his feet are going super fast.
Oh, yeah.
He said, "That's me."
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I took it as a compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
man,
it's like
listen.
you're working really hard behind the scenes, and on the top
Yeah,
of it, it's like, oh, it looks like they're just floating super
smoothly.
easily, but that duck's
Yeah.
working his tail off.
I thought it was good, man. I like, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let me bring you the spiritual tip of the day. So I'm going to go back to the book. This again,
All
this is
right.
the 66 books of the Bible by Dr. David Jeremiah, and so we're going to read from the book, the summary of the book of Genesis. Isn't this beautiful? Like great
I
color,
know the cover
beautiful
work, the
book.
artwork on there is amazing.
Is great. I love it so much. So this is only one little summary there, and then this is it, like two little short little pages there. And so I'm going to bring that to you. I'm going to read this. Can you see that? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I'm going to read. It's very short.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay. I love it because we're educating our audience here, and we're getting educated at the same time too, which is very cool.
He's
This
good.
is
Yeah, he's good. David
he's
Jeremiah. It makes it it's comprehensible. You know, it's like not too
yeah,
much.
yeah,
And he this is the way that he has everything set up, like those
yeah,
cue cards that we were doing before with
yeah,
the spiritual tips. They were so perfect, and it was short and a
yeah.
short message, and it gets the point across.
Well, that's the whole point of this. I mean, the reason why we're sharing this is because sometimes you go to church and you spend an hour and you're like, what did I learn? You know, like, man, it was
Exactly.
just like it went over
Yes.
my head. But this is
Yep.
practical. You can chew on it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And take
Exactly.
something away, which is this is the goal. Okay, I
Yep.
think this is what Jesus wanted, was to make it, to make it user friendly. You know what I mean?
Understandable. Exactly.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, applicable in your life.
Yep.
Okay, so here we go, and he
All
does
right.
this great. All right. Life is full of new beginnings. Every morning begins a new day. Every Sunday begins a new week. Every January starts a new year. Our Lord is the God of new beginnings, and that's the theme of Genesis. The first words of the Bible are, in the beginning, God. Genesis 1:1. The very word Genesis is related to genes and genetics, the issue of origins and beginnings. Everyone who decided to follow the Lord in Genesis needed a new beginning at some point, and often at many points in their lives. Think of Adam and Eve after they were driven from the Garden of Eden, Genesis 3:24. Noah after the flood, Genesis 9:1. Abraham, who left his home in Ur, Genesis 12:1. Jacob, whose life was one disaster after another until the Lord wrestled with him and blessed him, Genesis 32, verses 2 through 28. Don't forget Joseph, who had a new beginning in Egypt, where God had sent him as a prisoner to become a prince. Genesis 41:41. Our Lord is eager to provide as many new beginnings as we need. God knows I know I've been through that. Without the truth, life is dark and dangerous. But our eternal Creator stretches his watchful grace over every second of every day. Even when the enemy presses us, God's sovereignty will prevail. His plan for us will succeed. In Genesis 22:14, God is called by the title, "The Lord will provide," Jehovah Jireh. If you need a new beginning, he is ready with fresh provision and encouragement. Key theme. Remember that no matter what life brings or how evil intrudes, our Creator has a plan. His sovereignty cannot be thwarted, and his plan is right on schedule. Key challenge. Think of every morning as a new opportunity to trust the Lord with all your burdens and cares. Begin each day with a renewed commitment to love and serve him with all your heart. Key verse. I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. Genesis 12:2. Key prayer. Lord, thank you that in all things I can trust you to lead and guide me, for you are always with me, giving me a new beginning when needed, for your plan for me is good. And that's the end.
Nice.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Listen, even if the Bible was completely fake and was completely wrong, how could you not love the content that's here? Because it's motivational, it's uplifting,
Yeah.
it gives you hope, and we know that
Yep.
life is filled with doubt and
Yeah.
despair and brokenness, and with all of that, that the hurt that we get in life, there's also a lot of beauty in life. And this gives you reflection to focus on the beautiful things and not the ugly things in life. And so I think
Yeah.
that even if you took away like if this wasn't a reality, which I believe it is, if it wasn't a reality, the fact that this is so full of positive content that helps you live your life in a better way and also to be better to other people, to be like he says, to be a blessing to
Yep.
others, it is so beneficial. And I think that was there's this guy named Immanuel Kant that was a philosopher like in the, I don't know, 1700s or something like that, way back.
Yeah.
And he even said the same thing too. Like, even if the Bible was wrong, it's still beneficial for human beings. I believe it's real. I believe it's a living word because I've been applying this like holistically since 2007.
Yep.
And, I grew up with it, but I walked away from it and then I came back all in. And really, you just don't understand like how great it is until you go all in. But again, just even from a logical perspective, even if you didn't trust that it was truth, just reading this and applying it in your life is so beneficial because everything that we just
Yeah.
read right there was so positive.
Yep. Exactly. It's a good way to live. It's almost like an instruction manual.
Yeah, it
I feel
is.
like,
That's
the
exactly
Bible,
what
I
it
feel like
is.
it's like an instruction manual that can be decoded, and there's like so much information in it that it's more than like in Transformers when he says you're more than meets the eye. It's the same thing. There's so much information in there. It's like one thing, it's like saying this, but it can also mean this, that, and the other. And so I think regardless of whatever the outcome is, regardless of it, even if it was all fake, I mean, just the fact that we exist at all is just, there's got to be something more to just there's no God, there's no devil, there's no nothing, there's nothing, there's none of that. There's only us. Like, there couldn't be only just us. There's like so much going on. But even if there was no God, like, even if it wasn't true, in the end, it's teaching people how to be good people. Be nice to others, do things right, do it wholeheartedly, do things with purpose, with gratitude, with passion. Like, you wake up every day and be grateful that you woke up, because some people didn't even get that far. And so I think regardless of anything, there's so much in the Bible that can be applied to like every month that we have. For example, there's a lot that goes on. And when you go to, I remember when we would go to the church that we went to over in Jacksonville, the pastor would be talking about something that I felt could be applied to what I went through that month, or even
Mm-hmm.
that week or that day or whatever the time. That's just a time frame. I'm just putting,
Mm-hmm.
something out there so you can have a ballpark figure. It's any time frame, but say like that week I went to church. They'll talk about something that Sunday that I went through that week. And
Mm-hmm.
it's always applied. It can always be applied to every single day of your life. Going through something, there's a message in there, and you go at certain times, and sometimes you're meant to hear a certain message. And so that's why I think it's great
That's
to
the
go, because
supernatural component of our religion, because if you like visualize, these are words, right? But
yeah,
they're words that are applicable 2,000 years after they were written, specifically to
exactly,
what you are going through today. So I look at it like a spider web.
exactly.
If you look at a spider web, it's all interconnected, right? And so I
Yep.
feel like like a spider web, the living word is the spider web, and it connects to
Yes.
you from here in the middle, which is God, right,
Yep.
all the way out over here, and it has all these ripples in between,
Exactly.
which is like, for me, it's like the time, right? And the people that are connected. And so like all of these ripples, it comes back to you from the source and connects with you and all the other people around you in the big spider web. It's a beautiful thing. It's really mind
Yeah.
blowing, right? And there's really few things that are comparative to it in life, right? How many supernatural events do human beings experience outside of an
Yeah.
emergency, a crazy emergency experience? Like, let's say a car gets flipped over and there's a child in it, and the woman breaks open the car to get the child, save the child, or lifts up the car to save the child. There's some crazy supernatural events that have taken place like that, right? And sometimes people
Yes.
come back to life after they died for 8 minutes or something. Those are some supernatural events. Or like a horse goes into the water and grabs a child and pulls it out of the water to save its life. Like, there's some supernatural events that have taken place. But outside of that, like, this is one of those supernatural things that just take place on a small scale, but it's so impactful. Like, just because it's words that you hear in a sermon on a Sunday at church, they hit your heart so deeply. It's important to you, as important as the horse rescuing the child at that moment. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And sometimes they try to, downplay. Um, I'm trying to figure out the right way to say it. They try to downplay it as if it's not something supernatural.
Coincidental.
Oh, it's just adrenaline, or it's just
Yeah.
this, or it's just that. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's not just that. There's more than just that. Sometimes just that isn't enough. It needs
Right.
to be
Well,
something else. Like, there's certain things that are just so
yeah.
inexplainable. They try to
Yeah.
downplay it, and like, no, that's some
Yeah.
supernatural thing that just happened there.
Right.
It's not.
Right. The word itself, supernatural. You have a natural activity, and then you have something
Exactly.
super happening above it, so it's becomes supernatural, right? So the
Exactly.
word in it, but we minimize words, we diminish words, we don't put
Yes.
effort and emphasis, because there's, like you said in the beginning of this session, that there's so much stuff that distracts people. Like, if you don't call the person the next day, they're going to forget about you because there's so much stuff coming into
Exactly.
our minds that are clouding our thoughts and our responses to things. So yeah, people downplay these things. And then of course, then you have the enemies, right? The people who are anti-God, anti-Christ, right?
Yeah.
And even if they don't say that they're anti-religious, anti-Christian, maybe they're just agnostic or atheist, but maybe they're not. There's both, right? There's both camps.
Yeah.
And so why would you be where would you be like, okay, so you have protagonist and antagonist. Why would you be antagonist against somebody who has beliefs in something that's good?
Yep.
How does it benefit that person to attack them for doing something that makes them feel good and that encourages them to be a good person to other people? I don't get it.
Exactly.
Unless you want them to follow you. Are you trying to
Exactly.
be God?
And then
Like,
at that point, that's
you
a
know?
false idol. That's
Right?
yeah.
Right? So I wonder, like, is that your angle? Like, are you trying to justify, and like you want people to justify your thinking with you? You want them to take on your thinking as well? Is that your your modus operandi? Like,
Yeah.
what's the causality behind it?
The motive.
Anyway,
Yep.
yeah, everybody has a motive for everything we do.
Exactly.
I have a motive. I want positive energy out in the world because I think we have too much negative energy out there. Anyway,
Yep.
so this was a great word. I hope everybody liked it because I really enjoyed
Yeah.
sharing it. And there's 66 books and they all have a summary like this. And this is my first time reading it. I love it. And so, like, hopefully we can do the next 66 episodes. We'll share one in each session.
Yep. That's great.
All right? And we'll take
Great
turns.
idea.
You can read the next one.
All right.
So awesome. Okay, cool. So my next next part of this session is to share the entrepreneurial tip of the day, right?
All right.
And it's entrepreneurship and influence combined together, which is why we call our show the Entrefluential podcast. It's not about entrefluential. It's about entrepreneurship and influence built together. So
Yep.
I started working on my course today, Sebastian. I actually recorded an introduction and I recorded module 1 for my up course, right? It's called Up.
Nice.
Up 3. It's called the Entrefluencers Professional Growth Plan, right? The Entrefluencers Professional Growth Plan, the 10 pillars of entrefluential success. So each of the 10 pillars teaches you a skill that you can apply as an entrepreneur.
Great.
And the first module is called the Entrefluential Speaker. So the objective behind the Entrefluential Speaker is to generate potential ancillary income as an expert speaker and build brand awareness for your future deals. So you're an entrepreneur. Let's just
Nice.
say, for instance, that you're like my entrepreneurship business is real estate. Your entrepreneurship business is personal training. And so we could have additional revenue streams for our businesses. Even if you're a plumber or an electrician, you're a doctor, you're a dentist, you could be doing things to generate secondary income on top of whatever your main business is, right?
Yeah.
So being a speaker is one way to generate additional income. You can earn money by doing lunch and learn workshops. You can be an event speaker. You can also be an organizer of events, and you can also do webinars. So what we're doing with our podcast is also a kind of like a webinar. It lives on YouTube. We did the YouTube live, and then it stays on there. So if you do a lunch and learn workshop, that's usually a 1 hour session. You go in, you provide lunch to a business. It's like B2B sales. So like if I was to go, so I'm in real estate. If I was to go to a group of like a PTA association, right?
Yeah.
And let's say the PTA meeting is a daytime meeting, right? Let's say it's on a Saturday. And I say, okay, you guys are going to have your PTA meeting. Let me provide you a lunch and learn workshop. I'll provide you with lunch. So at 12 o'clock, I'll be there. I'm going to cater in lunch for you guys, and I'm going to do a 1 hour presentation. It'll be 45 minutes talking and a 15-minute Q&A. So if I'm talking about real estate, I may want to talk to parents about properties within a school district that they maybe consider moving up to, because maybe it's a mom and dad and they only have one kid and their family's growing. They're going to grow. They're going to have more kids. They need a bigger space, right? So a house instead of a house with 3 bedrooms, they want a house with 4 bedrooms, right? So I could go in and do a presentation for that. Or let's say that you're an attorney and you're going to talk about estate planning. You could go in and do a presentation on estate planning. So like all the different areas that you could talk about. But that if you're doing an event, a lunch and learn event like that, that's probably going to be a free presentation, but you're going to be able to do consultations at the end of it, right? Book consultations, especially if you give a voucher, like, okay, you can have a 1 hour consultation with me for free. Here's a voucher for that consultation. It has a value of $300 for the hour, right? Or if you're doing coaching and consulting, right? You could you do the lunch and learn workshop as a personal trainer, right? And then at the end of the seminar on the personal training, blah, 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 then you can say, I can offer you the first one-on-one consult, the first personal training session will be free. And it has a value of whatever your hourly rate is, right? So you give everybody who attends a voucher, right? So that's one way of getting your business known, is by doing the lunch and learn workshop. Plus, while you're doing the presentation, you can throw in some opportunities to make affiliate sales. So let's say that you're doing your personal trainer lunch and learn workshop, and you mention, oh, by the way, before I start my workout, I use this creatine drink here, and this is the brand that I use, and here's a coupon for 10% off. So you give them your affiliate link on the flyer, and you earn a commission for every bottle that gets purchased by the audience. Right?
That's great. That's a great idea. Yeah.
So if you do a 52-week session, right? Like, I'm sorry, your calendar is 52 weeks, and you take 4 weeks of the year for vacation, right? So you got 48 weeks. If you do one session a week, 48 sessions, you've got 48 presentations scheduled for the year to make connections, to earn clients that you're going to do direct business with, and to make affiliate sales on those 48 sessions. Right?
That's great. Yep.
Okay. And then you could also do upsells. So anybody who subscribes to a monthly service, right? Monthly gym fitness service, whatever, with you as your personal trainer, you could do an upsell. Hey, by the way, or you could even do group classes, right? And then you could, let's say you do a group class, that would be a great opportunity to upsell people that register for the group classes into one-on-one personal training.
Exactly. Yep.
Right. So there's a few ways to skin the cat, so to say, right? To make money on this.
Exactly.
Sorry, that's a crude analogy I just threw there, but skin the cat, like skin the sheep. How about that? We need the wool.
No, but it's good. Okay. Those are like your tools. Those are your little tools to make the money while you're doing those luncheons and seminars. You have one tool, the affiliate marketing. Another tool is your own business.
Yes.
Group coaching is one, and then one-on-one session, that's like going up the ladder, right, on what you have offered.
So that's 3 opportunities you got, and then plus you could potentially be getting paid to speak at gigs too. So we'll talk about that in the
Exactly.
the next part is called event speaker, like being a paid event speaker or being an organizer, right? So let's say that okay, so in the real estate industry, we have these groups called the Real Estate Investor Associations. So
Yeah.
here we have Jacksonville Real Estate Investor Association. So I've seen speakers come to the nightly meeting, right? The monthly meeting, and
Yep.
they'll speak for about 2 hours on their specialty, right?
Yeah.
For free. But what they're doing is they're doing that free 2 hour presentation because they're trying to sell you into the Saturday class that they're going to be teaching that
Right.
week, and maybe those tickets sell for $50, maybe they're $100, right?
Yep.
So if they get 30 people to sign up at $100 a pop, that's $3,000. Now usually
Wow.
they'll split the money with the association. They'll say, okay, I'll give you 50% of my proceeds and my ticket sales.
Right.
But now you've got ticket sales, right? So now you make $1,500 on a Saturday, right? You go do 2 hours
Yep.
on Thursday, and you do 8 hours scheduling at a hotel conference room on Saturday. That's what they do, and then now you've made $1,500 for the week. If you do that 4 times a month, you made $6,000 for the month, $72,000 a year.
Not bad,
right?
Yeah.
You're adding value. You're sharing content, and that's not even your full program. That's just a 1 day workshop.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Now you can upsell them into your program, right?
Yes.
And you can do the affiliate sales too. You give them a book, you have all of your vitamins and your minerals,
Yep.
and your workout gear and all that jazz, and it's all included in the packet that they get at the seminar, and you do upsells and you get the affiliate commissions on those as well.
Exactly.
Cha-ching.
Money making. Yep. Money on money on money.
Cha-ching.
Yep.
Right? Okay. Then you take the content, you have a camera recording the session that you do. You take the content and you upload it to YouTube, Udemy, Teachable, SlideShare. You put all that content on the internet, and then it sells for you online 24/7, 365. It's virtual real estate. It's like setting up a business, right? Like instead of going to the mall and paying $2,000 a month to have a shop in the mall, it's online.
Yep.
YouTube becomes your shop. YouTube is the shopping mall. They go online. They're looking for content. They hit your keywords. They pull your video up. They watch the 8-hour session. They've got all your affiliate links on the booklet that you have attached to it. And now you're in business making affiliate sales, getting clients to call you and upsell and so forth. And then plus you get ad revenue from YouTube as well if you have enough people watching your episodes.
Yeah, and it sounds like, you're killing 2 birds at 1 stone when you're doing your class and then you record it and then you put it online, so you can sell on you're furthering your library of what you have to offer online for your online courses and stuff like that, recording those workouts and stuff, or whatever the session with the client or any business it can be applied to it. It's like it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. A, you're making the money with that session, and B, you're creating your library for the online store. So now you're creating more content that you can sell. So you
can repurpose it.
Exactly.
And the content that lives on Udemy, it lives on YouTube forever until you shut it down or until they shut down. Right?
Yeah.
So it's there. It's like a robot, and it's working for you 24/7, 365.
Yep.
That's better than the energy that you and I have.
Yep.
Right? I'm sleeping.
Seriously.
But, right? I'm sleeping, but John is on the screen talking, selling.
Yes, exactly.
It's like having 1,000 clones of you online.
Exactly.
How cool is that? Working 24/7.
Yeah, that's yeah. And you start making the passive income.
Right. Okay, so that's what I talk about in this one. And then here's one more. Okay, I got one more I'm going to share with you. Okay. So you've heard of trade shows and conferences, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So imagine that you get paid to go to a trade show and talk about your subject matter because people are getting to know you. They know you, they like you, they trust you, and they say, you know what, Sebastian, I'm going to give you $5,000 to come speak at our trade show.
Wow.
Now you make money for being
a speaker.
At that
point, you get paid to do all of those things, the affiliate.
And then you have books, you get your books, you take it to the trade show, you autograph it, right? Okay. So now you make book sales, people love you, they start contacting you, they go to your website, you get group coaching clients, you get one-on-one coaching clients, you get ad sales, revenue sales. Plus, then now you can bring in sponsors too. Hey, Coca-Cola, I'm doing this trade show over here, and I'm going to be a speaker. And if you want to promote with me, I'll take some sponsorship dollars to promote your brand, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's not Coca-Cola, maybe it's, Kriastack, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
Whatever fitting for your group,
Yep.
So now you're generating sponsorship dollars as well.
Exactly. That's great. You can also even like bring free merch and free things like that. You can even
Absolutely.
bring some free goodies for the people to get them hooked, even other people that
100%.
don't know about you, and get them hooked on it.
Exactly. Make them love you, make them remember you by that merchandise that you give
Exactly.
away. And then, and I'm glad you brought up the merchandise, because I was about to say, even if you don't go to a trade show or a conference as a guest speaker, you can buy a ticket. You can actually pay to set up a vendor booth, because they always have these
Yeah.
vendor breakouts, right? You go to the you have this room full
Yep.
of vendors. So what if you set up your kiosk and you have all of your brand content, some
That's
videos
perfect.
there, right? And now, plus, you get to walk around and meet all the other vendors and exchange contact information with the other vendors.
Exactly.
You've got consumers, you
Network.
got vendors.
Yep.
Exactly. It's a fantastic place to market your business.
Exactly. And you give out something for free, and then it draws them in. And if they like it, then they're going to want to come back for more.
Lead magnets. We call those lead
Yes.
magnets.
Yep.
Right? Plus, if you grab all their email addresses, right, then you can start marketing to them on a frequent basis.
Now
Like
you
send
have
them
a
out
hot list.
a monthly
Yep.
newsletter, special promotions. Hey, we're going to be doing this workout session over here at the Arts and
Yep.
Crafts Festival in Jacksonville Beach. Come out and see us and get a keychain, get a whatever. You know what I mean? You give something away, right? We're going to be giving away some samples from the Kriastack company.
Yep.
And what if you own the Kriastack company, right? Now you're selling your own product at the events.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And now you bring in more people. What if you went to like a conference for fitness trainers and you
Yep.
promote your product? You know what I mean? So now there's a
Exactly.
whole bunch of different ways to capitalize. Trade shows, conferences, seminars, lunch and learn workshops, YouTube channel, our podcast.
Yep.
The podcasting is another. They're all platforms to be a speaker. And you
Yes.
can go onto other people's stages, right? I call it OPP, other people's platforms. You down
Yep.
with OPP? Yeah, you know me. And generate capital
Yep.
from that as well. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
gonna leave it at that. That all came from module 1 for the new course Up 3. It's gonna be
Wow.
available for free on Udemy. The whole course is offered for free. I like to build value that way with the audience, and keep growing that list. I think I've got about almost 40,000 people, I think, right now, or
Wow.
not 30 or 40,000 people active right now. And I want to keep growing that number in the courses.
Yeah. No,
All right.
that was great, and that even tied with the 9 habits of the ninja selling, because you get those emails, you network with those people, you have all their emails. Now you got your hot list.
Yep.
Now you put it on your agenda, put it here in the
Add it to your
email.
database.
Exactly, add it to the database, and then you
Yep.
refresh the database.
That's it, man. Refresh your database. All right, so
Yep.
I think that wraps everything up. But before we go, we got about 7 minutes left on our show, and I brought my guitar out. I was playing it a little bit today. I popped a string on it, so I'm limited on how good it can sound. But I need to get my fingers broken in, and so
Yeah.
I played this for a friend of mine. I sent her an audio clip of it, and she loved it so much. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should share this with our audience too. So,
All right.
how does that sound? Does that sound okay?
Yep, sounds great.
A little bit of entertainment here.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna sing. I'm just gonna play a little guitar here. Okay. I'm gonna take those headphones off though, because I don't want to hit it while I'm playing. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Can you hear it? Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Did you like it?
Wow, that was great.
Thank you.
That was great.
Well, I'm just trying to get broken in again here. So I popped this string right over here. I'm gonna have to replace it. It's the fourth string, but I gotta break my fingers and get used to playing. These notes over here are really tight. The ones, the pinky and this one here, and
Really?
they're so painful, man. But little by little, a little bit of like 5 minutes. I try to play like 5 minutes every couple of days to get the fingers broken in, and I'm learning how to play some Christian songs. So like, once I get
Man,
this,
yeah.
it's fun,
That
man.
sounds like it has the potential right there for a Christian song. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, you've got to get a freaking guitar so we can play together, man. How cool would it
Yep.
be if we can play for our audience together, Sebastian? Wouldn't that be fun?
I think I'll get one ASAP once I get, because I'm getting my apartment soon. So once I
Yeah.
get into there, I'll get in the guitar, and then we can
Yeah,
start doing that at the end of our show. We can finish off like the last 10 minutes, and we can start performing.
that'll be great.
That would be great. Yeah, we can even try
That'll be
to make
awesome.
some songs at some
Our own
point
stuff.
too. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Let's get good at playing other people's music first.
Yeah.
OPM.
Yep.
And then we'll start creating our own content.
That's a great idea.
It'll
Let's
come
do it.
naturally to us because then we'll know a lot of chords. So
Exactly. And then we can
yeah.
create our own songs. That's something really good. I like that a lot.
Thank you. All right,
That
man.
was
That's
great.
awesome. All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that was a good episode.
All right. Well,
And we
everybody,
finished it off with a great twist today too, with the music. That was a great addition to it.
change it up a little bit. Hey, this is supposed to be for entertainment purposes as well, right? So let's entertain them.
Exactly. That was great.
It was entertaining for me.
Me too. You did a great job. That was really.
Thank
You couldn't even tell that there was a chord missing. Like, it sounded like it was supposed to sound like that.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I'll get a new set so I can get that string added to it. But yeah, man. So thank you very
That was
much.
great.
All right, guys. Love you all. God bless you all. And go out there and amplify your message. That's how you're going to grow your business.
That's right.
All right. We'll see you later. Bye,
All
everybody.
right, bye.
Bye, you guys.
Bye, you guys.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. See you later.
All right. See you next week.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.